friends, welcome back to my channel. As many of you guys know, 2019 has been sort of my year to focus on using, less purchasing, and throughout the year I have shown you guys my eyeshadow palette collection, I've shown you my makeup inventory, but the one part of my collection I have not shown you is this little basket. I don't really know exactly how to categorize this, but this is basically all of like my drugstore eyeshadow, I guess you could call it, that I keep in here. Originally, my plan this year was to really start to pull these out and use them and really decide what ones I want to keep and what ones I don't. But that plan hasn't really been going very well because I have just been super focused on making tough decisions about my eyeshadow palettes. And to be honest, if I had to pick and choose what I wanted to pan, I would probably invest more of my time and energy into panning all of those general palettes because I am more prone to pull out a big eyeshadow palette versus many of these trios and quads. But yet every time I go to declutter these or make decisions about these, I'm always torn to do so. But enough of me yammering on. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what exactly is in here. I will say a lot of these I purchased before I knew a lot about makeup and when I was couponing and before I started to like actually invest in buying palettes. And I think if I were to go buy eyeshadows today, like if I lost all my makeup, I probably wouldn't own many of these. I probably would just stick with buying palettes, but now that I have them, I feel compelled to want to use them. Okay, so I have two from Avon. I don't know if they still make these, but these are True Color eyeshadow quads. I have this one in Romantic Mauves. Oh, I think this one is so pretty, but like I never pull it. I never pull this out and I don't know why. I also have the exact same one in Warm Sunrise. I feel like this one's also beautiful and I could definitely find use for it. I just have not touched these. And that's kind of like the running theme is that I just haven't used enough of these to know if I want to keep them or not, what I want to do with them. Next up, I have one from a YouTube collection. This is the Fleur de Force. This one came out, I believe it was on Beautylish. It's the Lunar Rose. This one I have gotten a lot of use out of. You can see that I actually have pan sitting on this. This is the predominant shade that I use in here. As I was working on that purple crease shade in my The Rock Mega Pro palette, I was bringing in this shade a lot as my lid color. I really enjoy this one. This is definitely like a go-to one for me. I also have one from ColourPop. You guys probably know this one really well. I don't know the 4 shade names of these shades, but I have been pulling this in a ton when I am working on my Le Rock Mega Pro palette. So I would say that these two I definitely know I would definitely keep and probably hit pan on these shades because I use them all the time. Next up, I have one from NYC. This, I don't think this brand exists anymore, but this is the Best of Broadway. This one, I've got your like highlighter, you have a eyeshadow primer, and then you have 4 satin shades. I have another one of these that I actually have panned colors from. I really like it, and so I definitely think I'm gonna like this one if I get more use out of it, and this is right in my wheelhouse of shades that I love to use. Then there is the Color of Hope Wear Infinite Pressed Eyeshadow Quad from L'Oreal. I do not know how old this puppy is, but this is what it looks like. You have a dual chrome up here. I also have this one from M Cosmetics. I got this for free when I did like an Ipsy bag. This is the Shade Played Artistic Eye Color Palette in London Grays. I definitely don't like most of the colors in here, but I need to test out this color and this one to see if I like those because I'll probably just pop those out and get rid of the rest of this. But for now, she just sits in my collection. I've got this one from Kiko Milano. I bought this solely for packaging. This is the hashtag Kiko by Super Duper Less is Better eyeshadow palette. I have actually panned an entire shade in this palette. It's really like a lot of good neutrals, but I only really ever used it for this cream, and then I put it aside. I really feel like this one may not have a ton of like pigment to it, and so I don't know if I'd want to pan the rest of these shades, but when I looked at this, I thought this could be a really good neutral palette to get a lot of wear out of. Ooh, I got this one. I went through a hard phase. This is the Kardashian Beauty. This line no longer exists, but this was the Touch Tones Gradient Eye Color set. They had a couple of these. This one was called Echo. I have panned 2 shades out of here. These are right in my wheelhouse of like lid colors that I like to wear. I'm surprised I haven't panned this whole thing. I'm pretty sure this is just one big pan and the colors kind of all are sitting in there, which I'm not sure how that would work out if you were trying to pan it, but I have always kept this because one, I use 2 shades in it and these are easy go-to lid colors. If I didn't have that ColourPop pink shade, I probably would be pulling this out to work with it because I did love this. Then I have this Catrice Absolute Rose. This is also one that I got for free, like as a gift with purchase. This is the Frankie Rose to Hollywood. When it came, this shade in here was broken, so I did not pan it. But again, I look at some of these lighter colors, and if you guys have seen me pan, you know that I typically can go through lid colors and cream colors super fast. So I hold on to some of these with the expectation that I probably will just keep a couple of shades in here and then get rid of the rest of them. I don't look at these as a lot of like standalone pan entirely type palettes. Then we have the Revlon Custom Eyes. This is similar to the Kardashian one. This is the Naturally Glamorous. I'm pretty sure this is just one big pan, so I don't know how it will do when I go to actually fully use it. I did use this shade a lot when I first got this, but I just amassed so many of these all at once that I was sort of like getting more makeup than I could ever possibly use at one time, so I never really got a feel for how to use most of these. Then there is this Julep Sweep Eyeshadow Palette in Neutrals. It looks like this. I have this e.l.f. and Christian Siriano. I got suckered into it because I'm a big fan of Christian Siriano. This is the packaging, gorgeous, and this is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. Then there is the Essence All About Nude eyeshadow in the shade Nude. Again, you'll notice that my biggest dent is in this pink. Like, I just love pink shadows like this all over my lid. Then there's this Revlon Color Stay 12-Hour eyeshadow in Berry Bloom. I've got a couple of 6 pan palettes from when e.l.f., I don't know if they still do this, but e.l.f. for like a minute was putting out in-store only like collections. Like there was a like Disney princesses collection, there was a villain collection, there was like a Little Mermaid one. So I have 2 from that. This is the Ursula. It's a 6-well compact. This is what the colors look like. And then I have Maleficent, and this is what these shades look like. Keeping with e.l.f., I also have this e.l.f. Custom Compact. I don't know the shade names, but these are the 4 shades that I have sitting in here. I've got the IBY Beauty Trio Eyeshadow Palette in Three's Company. This I got from an Ipsy bag. Again, these are super easy go-to shadows for me. Another e.l.f. one that I have, this is the Saturday Sunsets. This is when they like released a bunch of like new reformulated shadows. This is what this one looks like. As you can see, there's definitely like some shimmery glitter in there, so I'm not sure if I would actually like this. I don't think I've ever used this before. I have my favorite Maybelline one. This is the Expert Wear Emerald Smokes. I actually am surprised that I don't have bigger dents in this. This is like a classic go-to fall one for me. I don't typically use all of these to make one look. I tend to pull in this shade a lot in like singular looks, also that one. I just really enjoy, I feel like greens are really pretty with my hair and skin tone. I've got this L'Oreal Paris Color Riche in Perpetual Nude. I think this one's really pretty. You can kind of tell, like, I like a lot of the same types of shadows in this collection. I also have this CoverGirl Quad in Blooming Blushes. I use this a lot, but you can't really see the usage. I really enjoyed this. I have a couple from Ulta. I have this one, which has Seashell, In the Buff, Silk, and Social Climber. I did use this quite a bit. These were just like samples that I got for free gift with purchase. You can see like this is no longer domed. I use this a lot. I definitely could probably pan this if I focused on it for a little bit. And then I have this one that I've literally never opened. It's Iceland, Twilight, Lock and Key, and After Hours. These are less my go-to type of shades. I've got a couple from NYX. I have the Love in Paris, which is called Let Them Eat Cake. And then same from the Love in Paris, I also have Je ne sais quoi, which looks like this. Then I've got a few from Wet n Wild. I have these two trios. This one is called On Cloud 9. Then I've got this one that is called Cool as a Cucumber. And then I've got this one, which is sealed, but I have panned one of these entirely before. It's the Walking on Eggshells. I loved this one, so I have definitely not allowed myself to crack into it because I definitely feel like if I do, it'll totally deter my Lorac Mega Pro progress. So definitely gonna treat myself to this once I am done with that palette. All right, then I have two more. I've got two from Rimmel. I have the Rimmel London Quad Eyeshadow in Afternoon Tea. And then I also have one in English Breakfast. So there it is. Those are all of my drugstore eyeshadows that are sitting inside this little basket. Like I said, I definitely feel like a lot of these I would declutter or I would just pop out singular shadows once I get a feel for them. But until I can really play with these, I don't want to make any decisions. I really thought that this year I'd be able to really work into these and work on them in conjunction with my Lorac Mega Pro palette. But I have just prioritized figuring out my large high-end palettes first. And if I happen to make decisions about all of those before the year is over, I will then come to these. But I'll probably tackle these really intensely in 2020. But we'll see. I hope you guys have officially enjoyed seeing every nook and cranny of my makeup collection. And I'll talk to you guys in my next video real soon. Bye.